Danny Jacobs has already lost this fight, and he hasn't even thrown one single glove. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Brimstar Says So. Okay, hit like, hit subscribe, leave a comment, share this video. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a very unpopular video, in my opinion, but I'm just going to state it here. Danny Jacobs is doing nothing more than selling his IBF title to Canelo Alvarez. There is no chance in hell Danny Jacobs is winning this fight. The reason why I'm saying this, guys, is because Danny Jacobs is coming in for a career high payday, which is great. But let's be honest, this fight is fixed to the rag and bones. Guys, if you think that Danny Jacobs got robbed against Golovkin, I'm telling you, I promise you, you haven't seen nothing yet. Ladies and gentlemen, if you think that Danny Jacobs can go in there and get a decision, you're smoking crack. Canelo Alvarez has already won this fight and he hasn't did anything. Let me break this one down to you guys if you're still sort of scratching your head. Canelo Alvarez has just signed a $365 million deal with DAZN. There is no way in hell he is going to be losing anytime soon, if at all, so that they can keep up the Canelo Alvarez persona. Danny Jacobs has no chance in hell of getting a decision, and Canelo Alvarez has probably one of, if not the most granite chins in the entire heavyweight division. I mean, in the entire boxing division. There is no chance for Danny Jacobs. He cannot win. He cannot win. He cannot win. Danny Jacobs would do well to pray for a draw. Look at Golovkin. Golovkin, in my opinion, easily won the first fight against Canelo, and I still think he might have edged the second fight. And the first fight was ruled a draw, and the second fight was ruled a victory to Canelo Alvarez. And Golovkin has got a name, and he's got star power. But nobody in boxing is bigger than Canelo Alvarez. The only person that could possibly get any kind of decision against Sal Canelo Alvarez is Floyd Mayweather if he ever came back. Like, if you guys really think that Jacobs has got even half a chance of winning this fight, you're even more deluded than Eddie Hearn, who is sending, once again, another one of his world champions to the slaughter. It's a shame because there was loads of fights out there for Danny Jacobs, but him and Hearn have decided to sell himself out and go for the money. Yes, I understand. Danny Jacobs is about to get a career high payday of what is rumored to be $15 million. And these opportunities probably don't come around that often. But at the same time, Canelo has just signed an 11-fight deal for $365 million. Danny Jacobs could have went in there and had a few decent fights before taking the Canelo fight. He could have even unified with his stablemate Demetrius Andrade. But, Eddie Hearn is just quick to start throwing these lambs to the slaughter. Um, and it's a crazy one because, as good as Danny Jacobs is, he's already lost his belt. He might as well just post it to Canelo's house now, show up in the ring, do whatever, and get his $15 million because it's dead. Like, it's actually dead. Like, when Danny Jacobs won that vacant title against Sergey Devrichenko, I was like, okay, we got something new to the mix. But, Canelo Alvarez has signed on with DAZN, and, Eddie Hearn is sort of, he just can't wait to start selling his fighters out. And we all know why. Because, most promoters get a promotional fee of about 20%. And Eddie Hearn's just rubbing his hands together because he's going to get 3 million off the bat for selling Danny Jacobs to Canelo Alvarez. And then as soon as he's finished selling Danny Jacobs to Canelo Alvarez, you know exactly what he's going to do next. He's going to go and sell Demetrius Andrade to Canelo Alvarez if Andrade still got the belt. So that's all Eddie Hearn is thinking about. He's not thinking about his fighter. He's not thinking about anything apart from his pocket. And that is what Eddie Hearn is known for. He doesn't give a shit about anybody but himself. And that is the reason why there's a lot of sort of matchroom fighters sort of scratching their heads, especially when you look at other divisions over at matchroom. It's rumored that Andrade might be fighting Golovkin, but I doubt that's going to happen. I think Eddie Hearn will probably give him a knockover fight and then fight Canelo and sell that belt there. So yeah, that in my opinion, I think that Canelo Alvarez is on like a fast track mission to becoming the undisputed middleweight champion by buying up the belts from Matchroom Fighters. Just because I just don't think anybody's going to get a decision against him. If Golovkin couldn't get a decision the first time and Golovkin couldn't get a decision the second time, who the fuck is Danny Jacobs? Danny Jacobs needs to go and sit down because it's not going to happen. Demetrius Andrade, same thing's going to happen. Danny Jacobs, there was good fights out there for you, mate, and you've sold it. You could have fought Billy Joe Saunders. You could have fought Andrade. You could have fought Charlo. There's so many guys out there at middleweight that he could have fought. But I guess money talks. Nobody's ever offered me 15 million to punch me in the face, so I don't know. I can't really sort of um, criticize a man for that. $15 million is life-changing money, but what do you want in life as a boxer? Do you want legacy? Do you want these titles, or do you just want to go and sell your belt? There seems to be a lot of belt selling happening over the last couple of years. I think Charles Martin really put the sort of wheels in motion when he sold his belt to AJ for 5 million, and now you can see other people are sort of following suit. Let me know your thoughts, guys. Do you agree with me? Do you think that Danny Jacobs is selling his belt? Do you think he actually has a chance in hell? Do you think that Eddie Hearn is being a pig and then selling him out? Hit like, hit subscribe, leave me a comment. That's the end of the show because Rem Star says so.